Most people think planning, saving, and investing makes them good with money. But what they don't realize is that this is exactly what's keeping them stuck in the middle class. I spent 7 years as a tax advisor for ultra-wealthy entrepreneurs, and what I learned studying their behavior completely changed how I think about money. So in this video, I'm going to break down what my clients did differently and why most people's strategy is broken. In my work, there was one thing I kept seeing that didn't make sense. I had a higher salary than almost all of my clients. And what surprised me even more was that most of them didn't even have a salary. If they did, it was pretty average. None of it made sense until I learned that business owners keep salaries low by design. Instead, they pay themselves in dividend because it's taxed at a lower rate. As a founder, you make the rules. You decide how much you earn and when you earn it. As an employee, someone else makes those decisions for you. When I was new in this, I did what everyone who thought they were financially illiterate does when they receive money. You get a salary, you pay bills, and live quite frugally so you can invest the rest in the stock market. But here's the trap. Everyone I knew, including me, got way too focused on the stock market. It's easy to think of people like Warren Buffett as proof that this works, but we don't ask ourselves how he got the money that he used for investing. Because he wasn't investing chunks from a salary, he had his own business. Once I saw the conflict between what I had been taught growing up and what my clients were doing, I started paying far more attention to how money flows for entrepreneurs. And it was always the same pattern. They create value through a business, the business generates revenue, they pay themselves through a tax-efficient combination of dividend and salary, then they invest in the stock market, or real estate, or something else. But if both the rich and the middle class invest in the stock market, what makes this a bad strategy for you? If you look at the beginning of every entrepreneur's journey, they focused on building active income first. They earn money for work, time, or a specific output. As they make more money, they leverage passive income to diversify. This is usually where the stock market comes in, and with more money, compounding interest makes a much bigger difference. But in the beginning, they invest most of their money back into the business or in themselves to get better at running the business. So, if we compare that to an employee who receives a capped salary every month and invests what's left in the stock market, it's easy to see that these are two entirely different games. When you listen to advice about investing and why it's such a good thing to do, you are taking the fourth step in a wealthy person's strategy and making it the second step of your own. For them, investing is great because they already have so much, but the brutal truth is that as an employee, no matter how ambitious you are, you will not create life-changing money this way. And here's the part that nobody talks about. This isn't just a strategy problem, it's a socioeconomic problem. If people around you romanticize investing and talk about it as if it's the best way to outpace inflation, chances are that they are stuck in a middle-class mindset. Because investing isn't popular because it's the best method. It's popular because it's low effort and wealthy people do it. Talking about strategies and making it sound like we have figured out how to make money grow on trees is cute. But it's not going to change our lives until most of it is over. So, what do you do when you can't save or invest your way to getting rich? You give up or go all in. Many of us don't like hearing what's next. It's never the right time, you need to do a certain thing first, live in a certain space, have the right idea, have more money, or not be limited by the rules of your employment contract. No one likes to hear that they should try starting their own business, because we think it's scary and hard. And once one excuse is out of the way, we move on to the next. Most people wait their entire lives for the right time. Investing in the stock market feels a lot safer because it carries status without risk of failure. It's private. No one knows what your portfolio looks like unless you show them. And there is no social downside to trying. By talking about your investment strategies, you signal financial maturity without exposing yourself to judgment. Starting a business, on the other hand, requires you to put yourself out there and possibly fail in public. And if you try to start in secret, keep in mind that your social circle is going to start asking questions, especially when you keep saying no to spending time with them. And if this is where you are right now, saving, investing, but feel like it's not taking you where you want, I'm happy to connect and help out in any way I can. There is a link down below if you want to talk more about it, because for me, starting my first business changed my life. I vividly remember the moment that made me realize the possibilities. I was working on the side of my job as a content creator. About a year in, I got an email that resulted in a deal worth a monthly salary. This was for a weekend's worth of work doing something I already loved. It changed my entire view of how I could make money. Building my first business gave me 4 things that saving or investing never could. Confidence that I could do it, a network of people doing the same thing, proof that I could earn outside of my job, and proof that I enjoyed working for myself. But to get anywhere meaningful, I had to invest in myself. I spent a ton of time learning how to pitch, how to negotiate, how to sell, how to build something from nothing. Every skill I needed, I had to build on my own. Before work, after work, and on days I was supposed to be resting. Every day for years. What's scary about investing in yourself isn't whether it's worth it. It is that the value you get is entirely up to you. You don't know to what extent each investment will pay off or when. Everything takes longer than you think. I still remember how scared I was the first time I spent $1,000 on an online course back in 2020. It felt like so much at the time, but I was curious about whether I could make that money back, and I did. I didn't know what my path would look like when I started. I just knew that spending time and money on learning would get me further than waiting for the numbers to rise in the stock market. And while skills and proof gave me confidence, it's not where my motivation came from. That came from years of helping my clients build life on their own terms and realizing that I wanted to build on my terms too. And if that feeling sounds familiar, the question isn't if you're going to start, it's how. And I believe the first step is by making the most of what you already have. So in my next video, we will get into how you can increase your salary without having to go through the pain of switching jobs. So make sure to subscribe for that one, and I'll see you there.